The village people are tired. Yes, but we are the one that just say, you guys are sleeping.
You're even more conscious of them than they are of us.
I have assignment for you, and we wake them up. It's not only mommy that cooks. Dad is also the responsibility of daddy to cook.
You mentioned something before you got married. You were attending seminars, you were reading books and all that. The same applied. So in growth, I also want to chip in that the things that will help the one party to grow, the other party should also, they should also drink from it so that they can grow at the same pace. It won't be good for maybe only the husband or only the wife is attending seminars, reading books, and the other party is not. They won't be operating at the same frequency.
You're right. You're right with that. I'm sorry. Actually, I mentioned this one at the beginning to let you understand that the fact that I didn't have expectations doesn't mean that I was just trying to go into a marriage without a plan. So those were like foundations, and with the help of God, those things then we were both doing them together. Anytime I went for any seminar, in fact, for the Gen 218 program I mentioned at MFM Prayer City, we were always there together. We were always, my wife, I was living in Lagos then, my wife was in Ibadan. I will call her, okay, the next program is in February, the next one is in April. Okay, we meet at Mountain of Fire. And I bought books for my wife. Recently, I still saw some of the books and I shared with some of my single friends here in Turkey. Interestingly, we brought those books from Nigeria to Turkey. When we were coming, they were part of our extra luggage, and we thank God they are still helping us to move forward. And another thing I will want to chip in concerning that is the fact that you've now started your home or marriage doesn't mean you still don't need to learn. You still don't need to learn. That is where I believe knowledge is a continuous thing. Learning is a continuous thing. You don't say because I'm now a PhD holder, I don't want to read again. No. What you read, in fact, what you studied, the research you went into to get, to do your dissertations for you to get your PhD, in the next 3 months, I can assure you that a number of them will have become obsolete. They will have become, in fact, new researches will have come up and they will have put those ones on another level. Like someone said that somebody did a research to get a PhD. And people say, oh, this is fantastic. Another person came and countered that same research and they gave that person PhD also. So knowledge is like that. We are building on it every day. And we should also understand that our society is changing. Our society is changing. The knowledge you got when you were getting married about 5 years ago must have gone to another level with social media, with the new things happening around social media. For example, maybe those people I was reading their books then, for example, I listened to message of brother Bile Akoni a lot. Very, very wonderful man of God. But I'm not saying he's not a social media somebody, but he won't say much about social media. By the time he's preaching, he preaches more scripturally. So now we have more of things coming up from social media. So you have to learn in line with that too. So don't say because I attended seminars, I did this. And as you are learning those things together, by yourself, try and share it with your wife or your husband so both of you can grow together. So learning is not something that ends with when we were still single. It's continuous. And another way about dealing with that, it's when you start having children. When you start having children, there are some expectations that we don't have. We didn't have before we got married, even before we started having children. Like some will say, okay, I want to have 3 children. I want to have 4. Like me, I love children. In fact, if you ask me before marriage, how many do you? I will say I want like maybe 5 or 7. But after we had the first one,
Oh my God.
so I should tell you this story that got to the second one. You know that I'm now so stingy when it comes to okay, let's have children. Now, yeah. These are the reality that we got to know after we got married. So marriage is a wonderful thing. I always tell people, but it's all about building it together, working together. Don't isolate. Don't isolate. Don't hide information. Don't hide things. See yourself as a teacher to your wife, and as a wife, see yourself as a teacher to your husband. And also, as a husband, see yourself as a learner under the leadership of your wife, and also wife as a learner under the leadership of your husband. These are the things that have been helping me, that have been helping my wife, that has been helping my home. Now, about the children, a lot of people will say, okay, by the time we give birth, it's you that you will take care of the children in the morning, or it's you that will take them to school. Those things won't work. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to generalize. In most cases, they don't work. You don't know the reality of some of these things until they start happening, until you find yourself.
Sorry, I want to cut you. I'm sorry to cut you. Concerning this point you were talking about, I just want to chip in. Okay, now before we got married, we never dreamt of coming to live in another country.
Yeah.
No, we didn't plan this. We were planning, for example, you are planning your life around Nigeria. Yeah. But then life happened, you found yourself in this place. You moved to this place. Now, the realities of this place is different from realities of Nigeria. So now, if you now say that, according to what you are saying now, that the plans you have had then about maybe children and all that, you are now bringing it without trying to consider the things, the reality of where you are right now. Or you are maybe are just being rigid about, okay, this is what this is. It might be problematic.
So that is just all about that. We should understand that as we are developing, as we are growing in our marriage, a lot of things will be setting in, and we should help ourselves to work on them. Who is going to take care of the children? Who is going to wake up to bath the children? Like my wife does more when it comes to taking care of the children. But sometimes I just feel like, Mr. Man, what's your job? and I recently I started thinking about something. Now I love cooking. Many times I will tell
all those recipes.
Many times I will tell my wife, I don't even tell. I just wake up, I go into the kitchen, or after service, I go to the kitchen. She will come. What are we eating? I don't even know. I just want to prepare something. Now, I would like to say this. Not that I planned that before my marriage. Not that I put it into my, it wasn't even my wife, excuse me. It wasn't even my wife's expectation, but I grew into it. I grew into it. At the point, I just felt like one of the best way. Nobody taught me. Though I can remember when I was reading a book, the last time I traveled to a country and I got a book, and the man was talking, it's about marriage. The man was talking about how you take care of your home, how you make your wife happy. Just come back from work, tell her, okay, we are not eating dinner in the house today. Let's go out and eat. So I learned that thing from that book, but I now told myself, instead of going out to eat, why not tell her, okay, you are not making dinner today, I'm going to make it. Are you getting it? So that is how I started that about some years back. And at some point, I grew into it, and it became it has become something that I always want to do. Now, another level I want to talk about that is Yes, it wasn't an expectation. Now I agree into it. Do you know now that because I'm doing it, my children see me in the kitchen? If I get out of this room now, I get out of this room and I go from the passage, you see my two boys following me. They believe I'm going to the kitchen to make something for them.
We are learning that.
And I picked something from there that it has got into their consciousness that it's not only mommy that cooks. Dad, is also the responsibility of daddy to cook. Are you getting it? I didn't put that as my target before I got married, that I'm going to make my children know that I can cook. No, these are the things that I develop. And there are so many things that, okay, for example, if fixing of things in the house, I hardly call electrician or this thing to do things for me. I make sure I fix my things. I open YouTube. I just for me to, just to be responsible, to see my children that their daddy is not somebody that is always sitting down there reading newspaper. So expectation is not just about the things we grow into is not just for ourselves alone or for our wife alone, it's also for the children that we are raising. So that is what I would like to add from that angle. And as we are growing into them, let's carry them along. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Awesome points. Okay, I think maybe this might be the last question I'll ask. Now, what do you think about people? We know there are good marriages. We can't. We can't dispute that. There are good marriages and there are bad marriages, and the good marriages, it doesn't mean that they don't have issues. Maybe if someone comes out to talk about their marriage, the good part of their marriage, it doesn't mean that maybe they are hiding. There are some people who come to fake it that they go on social media. My husband is this. He took me to Miami. He bought a car for me. Loriro. Loriro. It might be that it's the wife that did everything. He now said, my husband did this and that. There are people who fake it, yes. But there's people who talk about it and it is true. But because there are some people who fake it, who lie about things and cover up and pretend as if all is well. When they now see good people who are coming to encourage or to advise people, maybe using their own experience in their marriage as a case in point, people now tag them as lie. You don't know what they are battling in their. True, every marriage, no matter how good, there is always one thing that you are working. It's just like our lives as Christians. We are all not perfect. Everyone is working into perfection. There's still some areas that we are still working on. Yeah, but it's also same in marriage. There's still some things that we are still, like you said before, that we can't expect ourselves to change overnight. There's still some things that we still need to be working on that will be causing issues once in a while. But overall, the marriage is still a good marriage in spite of all those issues. So if someone who has a good marriage still come out to advise people and this and that, some people might be saying, a lie, it's a lie. That's how they'll be doing. They'll be acting like they'll be wearing and co, but inside their home they are fighting. They are doing this and that. So some people have now have this opinion that don't put yourself on social media. Some people do not believe in praising or talking about their spouses on social media. Like maybe you have birthdays, anniversary, or something like that. Some people do not believe in talking about, because they believe that village people will look into their marriage and destroy it, something like that. So, and people are now of the opinion that it's because those who have good marriage have refused to come out to talk about the good marriages. That is why everything we hear now is bad, everything bad. It's now giving those who are here to marry a bad impression about marriage, that if this is how marriage is, I would rather stay single. While there are good marriages, they're no longer coming. Some of them are shy to come out because of what people will say about them. So what's your opinion about this? How far should we? Some people will say that showing off, or I don't know. I mean, just Just
I'm just looking at it from different angle. When coronavirus started,
mm,
a lot of people put much emphasis on the death rate.
mm,
Are you getting it?
yeah.
We in Turkey, 10,000. I mean, 1,000 dead, 500 dead a day. I mean, all those things. But at a point, with the help of God, I'm leading the choir in my church, and I put it upon myself at that time when the thing first started, even up to now, that though we are all in this together, as a leader, I need to be encouraging my people not to
Mm,
be scared. There are so many news flowing in. So every time when I see those news, I try to look for counter information to
mm,
encourage people. So
mm,
during my I developed this idea of going into research about coronavirus every day. Sometimes I sleep very late because I want to get one information about coronavirus. I
yeah.
research into Spanish flu, all those things. I got information so I can tell people that, okay, these things have happened before and people overcame it, so we are going to overcome it. Okay, at that point I now realize that the ratio of death, if you now, as in to people surviving, it's like ratio 1 to
Yes,
100.
of
Are you
course.
getting it? But we
Mm-hmm.
hear more
All the
of the death. Are you getting it? The
uh,
same thing applicable to marriage.
mm,
Are you getting me now? So many marriages are succeeding.
of course.
And can I even shock you?
But
It's not a
grace of
shock. I have more information about successful
God.
marriages than failed marriages.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? So it's a normal thing. I'm sorry to be spiritual. I'm not standing to be spiritual here, but the
It's allowed,
devil attacks marriage. And
of course.
we should know that. You see,
Definitely.
when you have issues going on in a country, in a nation, you trace it to the people.
Mm,
And when you look at the life of the people, you trace whatever they are exhibiting that is affecting the nation back to their home. And when we are talking about home here, we are talking about marriage. So the devil knows that for him to have something negative to do with a particular nation, it
mm,
has to go. I mean, he has to go to the foundation. And foundation of every nation is the family, the home. So that is why the devil always attacks the marriage, the home. Now, the issue there is there are so many marriages succeeding every day.
yeah.
For example, my parents, with the help of God, their marriage should be close to 53 years now.
Yeah.
53 years. And I know a lot of marriages like that. Young ones, middle age marriages, old marriages like that. They are thriving. Does that
Mm,
mean they don't have issues?
mm,
Does that I just mentioned my parent of 53 years old. I mean, marriage of 50 something years.
mm.
At their age, sometimes when you see them misunderstand, I mean, should I say you see that is why did you do this for me? So, but I think
I saw a lot
you
of that.
and at the end of the day, before the funniest part of it, in the
Yeah,
next 1 hour, you see them smiling together
of
again.
course. I saw
Why
it.
can't people emulate things like this?
Mm,
You won't see those ones on social media
mm,
though, because a lot of us, we have a lot of things to deal with.
mm,
Yes, I think from what you said now, maybe we need, especially in the Christian world now, we need to grow to that level of inviting people that are thriving in their marriage
mm,
to showcase it to the world. Because the truth is, I'm sorry, I never meant to bring anybody down, but we have more of single mothers now. I'm sorry, this is not to say anything bad about single parenting or anything, but we have more of those things happening now because the men that are supposed to take responsibility, they failed. And why did they fail? Because of what they saw on social media. Yes, but my guy left his wife and left the children. Nothing happened. I can do that as well. Oh, all men are scums. Or how do they say it?
come
All ladies are this. Or these are the things people are
Men are
saying.
strong. Men are strong.
All these things, they are thriving on social media. But One thing I have always told myself is I will never model my marriage towards anybody's. As good as my parents' marriage is, I'm not using them as my role model. As good as my pastor's marriage is, as good as my general overseer's marriage is, I'm not using their marriage as my own model. I build my own template for myself because that is their life. So maybe we need more people coming up to show us, not to tell us that you should do it this way, but for us to know that if it can work for them, it can also work for anybody that is doing. And another thing I want to, because this might be the last line I will be dropping.
Okay.
Another thing I would like to say is when we are getting into marriage, yes, we've discussed expectations and we've discussed the new expectations coming in. One of the very good things that will help us to deal with those expectations is to learn how to deal with our individual individual egos. When we learn to deal with that, it will go a long way to help us deal with those irreconcilable differences.
So people think only men have ego.
No, no. Don't let us go there. Maybe that should be a topic for another day. That should be a topic for another day. So when we learn that, it will help us to deal with those differences. Now, going back to the issue of social media, I think we should also be careful of undue competition. I don't know what that is. Like, I want to go on social media to advertise my wedding or my marriage because I want them to know that that person that posted his own is binting, is so small compared to what I've achieved. Let's be careful. I'm not here to talk about the village people. Even sometimes the village people, they are resting. We are the one going there to wake them up.
Waking them up.
Are you getting it? Seriously, a lot of time. Some of these things that we say, oh, my village people are after me. They are tired. The village people are tired. Yes, but we are the one that just say, you guys are sleeping.
You're even more conscious of them than they are of us.
I have assignment for you, and we wake them up. So when you go on social media, like I always tell myself that anytime I go on social media, I love social media, but I don't allow it to control my marriage. I don't allow it. In fact, there was a time we resolved in my marriage, in my family, myself and my wife, that okay, for some time we are not going to post some pictures. In fact, I was still telling somebody yesterday that it took me 1 year after my wedding before I posted my wedding picture on social media. It was intentional. It's not that one prophet told me, but I just needed to train myself about some things. Then I needed to pass across certain message. I kept it to myself. People knew I was married. Not that, I had my wedding and a lot of people knew about it, but I just told myself, it's for my own personal consumption. Yeah, if you need my wedding pictures, contact me. I will send you the file. In fact, you won't have enough time to look at all of them. So let's avoid competition. Oh, everybody must see that I'm married. I'm getting married. My wedding was as big as this. So you want to show the world. What are you really passing? What are you really passing across? So anytime we go on social media to show our family, there should be a message we want to pass across. Like I tell myself, yesterday I was meditating here and I said, it's good to grow. There are so many times I type long things I want to post on my social media. And I see something that I know that if someone should read it, the person might feel like, he's trying to brag. And I delete it. So many times I've deleted, I can't count deleted that. At the point I will tell myself, do you care? Do you send anything? But
you're overthinking.
Yeah. I ask myself, what about if it's going to lead just one person to misbehave? That means the message has not done what it's supposed to do. So I delete. I try to puts down that ego in me that say, no, I don't care. So what are we really going on social media to pass across? Are we going there to brag with our marriage or with our home? Or are we going there to pass a message across to the world that, okay, your message can just be to let people know that for everything you are passing through, for everything you are going through, God is there with you. Or for whatever you are going through in your marriage, I've gone through it. Oh, okay. Like about 3 days ago, I just posted something when myself and my wife were on campus about 12 years or 13 years ago, and I posted it. I said how it started. Something like I said, this is how it
Tell
started.
us the
Something
story how you started. I want to hear.
That's a story for another time. So I posted it there. Now there is a message there. The message I wanted to pass across was, it's always good to build together. So somebody will not come next time and say, I'm not saying people that the husband has already made it before they got married, they are not doing well. Oh, they are doing fine. But this is how it happened to me. I built together with my wife from scratch when we had nothing. This is how it began. So that was the message I wanted to pass across. So anytime we come online on social media to showcase our marriage, to showcase our wedding, let's have it at the back of our mind that we are trying to pass across a message so that others can learn from it. If people are learning from divorcee, they should learn from us too, that it can work with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very much. One thing I just want to add, when you mentioned that we shouldn't model our marriages after another marriage, and one thing, something dropped into my mind is that the reason why we shouldn't do that is because every human is unique. Those people who had a kind of marriage, who had a type of marriage, they know each other, they understood each other a certain way. So we are different from those people. If you now say that, okay, for example, you say my husband must exactly be like this person, or my wife should be like this person, that person is very different from. So you can't expect your wife or your husband to behave the same way. Although we can emulate some things, but it is not to say that we should now say, okay, what this couple did, we should also do it, not putting into consideration the uniqueness of your spouse, the uniqueness of your marriage, the uniqueness of, I mean, everything, even your children, everything. We should just learn to be unique in our own selves, like
Yes.
do everything with purpose, like you have said. So I just feel like, I mean, more things are coming now, but
Yeah.
we can't do that. But we definitely have, I mean, another time
Sure.
to talk
Sure.
again. So I want to say thank you very
Thank
much.
you for
God
the
bless you.
opportunity.
Thank you for honoring us on this channel. Thank you very much for all the wealth of wisdom that you have poured
Yee.
into
Don't
us. And
leave me. Don't leave me.
I'm very sure that, I mean, people watching will pick one thing or two in this
Yeah.
discussion. That's just the aim of it. And to you viewers, if you are watching, if there's any point that you picked, if there's anything that you need to share, maybe concerning what we've mentioned, or there's something you need to correct, even if you don't agree with what we said, or you agree or whatever, just leave a comment, just give your thumbs up and everything. And that's all. Thank you very much. If you're yet to subscribe, just go ahead and subscribe right now. Subscribe. If you are watching and you're yet to subscribe, I mean, it's a sin. So just subscribe and share with your friends so that people can learn. So thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
You're a pastor now.
No.
My friend used to call you apostle.
Because he
Apostle.
do.
Apostle. So thank you very much. Sister Tolu, where is she? Come and show us your face.
Oh, they are in the other room.
Okay. My regards to her. Thank you
All right.
very
Thank you
much.
so
God bless
much.
you. So
Bye.
next time when we do this again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.